Let's look into our first little creation, our little app here with Vue. So if you go to the Get Started on the Vue page, and hopefully you'll see this, we're just going to grab this link here. It also says development version. It includes helpful console warning. So if we use the console, it will also help us try to locate where our errors are. So that's great. So let's copy this path here. And I just opened up my index.html over here. Right now it's blank, so I'm just going to use the emit version to create all my tags here. And just after the title here, I'm just going to paste this one in, just like you would with Google Font or whatever you're creating. This is just one part. We also need, of course, to link to our applications, our app.js file here, right? So TypeScript, and hit tab and hit the source so we can do this, and mine is located in the JS folder and it's this file. I want to move this down here just so like here just before the body tag, so it loads last instead of first, or before the HTML is rendered. So these are the two things, and I also just want to add my CSS, so that's that one, and stars and yay. So if we want to do this, we already have that set up, and we will at some point, of course. But this is our starter. What we're going to create real fast is just in our app here, we're going to set up our Vue instance. And how that works is we're going to type new, and if you have installed the snippet part, you will have these as well. And I'm going to use the new Vue. If not, just type it as it is here. Maybe I can zoom a little bit. There we go. Like so. And I can expand this more because we don't really need that one. But this is what we need to create our new Vue instance. And in here we're going to define a few different things, and we're going to define what we want to do with our methods, with our JavaScript, with our TypeScript if you're using this, and so on. First thing we need to do is we need to type EL, which is short for element. So we are going to tell the Vue instance what element it's going to do all these crazy things in. And we're just going to name this, in our case, Vue.app. This just is because we're going to be using an ID for it. So if you are doing a div class, you would use this one. I'm going to use the ID here. That's the first part. Next part I want to do is I want to add just a little data. So I just want to add my name to this page here. So it's really cool, right? And for our next iteration or next piece of code, we're just going to use a comma to separate this. So after here, do the comma, or we can just not do the comma and I can show you the error. And I'm going to use some data here. And I'm going to use this inside an object. So you can already see it's turning red down here, right? This because this is not been finished or closed by JavaScript, so it doesn't know that we're actually done with it because we're in the object. So just make sure you are having this little dot here so you don't have the error. But next part we want to create is a data. And I just want to put in a name. And I'm just going to not use my own name, I'm just going to use Homer. I'm going to use Homer a lot, I think. And this is all we want for now. So we are declaring what block of HTML we want to attach our Vue instance to, and then I'm just storing some data here that I'm going to print out on the page real soon. If I go to my page right now, it should be blank. Whee, pretty. And in here inside my HTML, I'm just going to try something. So to print out data in Vue, it's real simple if you have everything set up correctly, of course, then it's real simple. But we're going to use double curly brackets like this. And for me to print out the value of our my data object here, I just need to type in the name and then it's going to print out Homer. So in between these two curly brackets, which is called interpolation, we're just going to type name like this, and we're going to click save, and we're going to go see what happens on the page. This won't work, but it'll print out this one, right? The reason why this won't work is because we need to declare on our index HTML where our Vue is actually being attached to. So this is the reason why we created this EL, or the L element. So we need to create a ID around this. So I'm going to call it Vue app like I have in here. So this, make sure this is the same as the ID here. I'm just going to leave this one out here so you can see the difference. I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste this in and I'm going to save. So hopefully we'll have one that says Homer and one that says these dash these curly brackets and name. So now you can see the difference. This one actually prints out our data, our Homer, and this one just prints out what we wrote because it's outside of the Vue instance. So when we start doing these instances, especially when they get a little bit bigger, usually you will only see like this, and then we'll create all these small things around them and just push them into this block of HTML here. But for now, we're going to do it like this. So this is how we would set this up. So we're grabbing data from our application over here, because everything is linked, of course, with the JavaScript file, and we're going online and grabbing the Vue library to print out all this code that's being used behind the scenes. And this is kind of the introduction to how we could set up a very, very basic Vue instance. Okay, in the next video, we're going to expand a little bit more on this.